Hi everybody, Armine here. Today I wanted to talk to you about something very specific that not a lot of people know about, and that's called a step-up in basis or a step-up rule. And it's a very complicated rule, so I'm going to try to do my best to put it in layman's terms and provide some examples that'll help you understand it. So, normally when you have an asset like a house or a property or anything, stocks, normally when you sell an asset, you pay a capital gains tax on the difference between what you bought it for and what you sold it for. So the IRS actually has, which is probably one of their best and biggest tax breaks, is known as a step-up in basis. And so what the step-up in basis allows you to do is it allows you to take that base value that you bought it for and increase it. So I'll give you a very basic example. Let's say you bought a property in 1990 for $100,000. That is your basis for capital gains purposes. So this year, if you decide to sell that property for $1 million, your step up, your tax basis will be that $100,000 that you bought it for, and your sales price will be the $1 million that you sold it for. So capital gains tax will be imposed on the difference between the two. So $1 million minus $100,000, so $900,000 of it will be what the IRS considers you to have gained in this process, and they will tax you on that $900,000. So the best kept secret or best tax break that the IRS code allows is called a step-up in basis. So what the step-up allows you to do is increase that base value, that $100,000. It allows you to increase that value, and you can do it in certain circumstances. So a step-up in basis, and this is a definition for it, is the actual date of death value of an asset. So when somebody passes, when somebody dies, their asset is reappraised as of their date of death. So that property that you bought for $100,000 in 1990, let's say you die in 2014, that property will be reevaluated and reappraised as of your date of death, 2015. And if at the time of your death that property is worth $800,000, your basis, that $100,000 that you bought it for, will be increased to your new basis, which will be the date of death value, $800,000. So you essentially step up to a higher level. So why is this important? Why do you care, right? Why is it important to know? Why does it even benefit the person that passed away that got the step up? So the person doesn't get the step up that passed away. It's their family members that are surviving after them that take advantage of this IRS code. So the property is now worth $800,000 as of 2015. And let's say that property was inherited by the person's, one of their children, inherited the asset through a trust. And so what happens is that child now has $800,000 as their basis to work with in life versus having that $100,000. Okay? So it's a big tax advantage, because if, let's say, in the following year, the child decides to sell that property for $1 million, their tax basis will be that $800,000. So their capital gain will only be the difference between what they sold it for, the million, and their new stepped up tax basis, which is the $800,000. So the difference of that is $200,000. So they will only pay a capital gain on $200,000. So this is a huge break. If not for this step up in basis allowance, the child would have to have paid a capital gains tax on the original $100,000 purchase price, $1 million minus the original $100,000 purchase price, so it would have been a significant amount. So this is an area of the law that, you know, a lot of people take advantage of. It's kind of the biggest and best tax break that the IRS allows. And it only works in certain circumstances. So it only works with inherited assets, for example. If you decide to gift a property to your son before you die, your son's not going to take advantage of this step up in basis, for example. So, you know, it's a consideration, and it's something to think about when you're deciding whether to gift a property during your life or to wait until you're gone to give it to your children. Also, married couples take advantage of this code as well, but married couples actually get something extra. They get what's called, through a married couple, you can get what's called a double step up in basis. So at the first person's death, you'll get a step up, and then at the second person's death, you'll get a step up. So as the child, you will get a double step up in basis, which is amazing. So it's a great tax advantage. And it's a great code, and it's a great rule to actually take advantage of. And you can only utilize this with proper estate planning if you're a married couple. So, you know, a lot of times people will simply utilize a, you know, LegalZoom document to create their trust, thinking, okay, we just need a basic trust, we don't need to go to an attorney and pay all that money. But you're shortchanging yourself, because there are rules and laws like this that are out there that you should be taking advantage of. And if you're not taking advantage of it by hiring an experienced, knowledgeable attorney who knows about these things, you're shortchanging yourself, and you're effectively putting your loved ones at a disadvantage, because they won't be able to take this into consideration. They won't be able to take the benefit of this rule and others like it. So it's a great rule to take advantage of, and I hope I've done a good job of explaining a complicated tax matter in very basic terms. But it's called a step up in basis. If you want to read more about it, you can click on the link below, and you will be directed to an article that'll give you a little bit more detail, as well as some examples for you to consider. If you'd like to discuss it with me, feel free to give me a call. And please know that there are limitations to this rule. I'm not trying to provide tax advice to anyone, but if you want to talk about it in detail specific to your particular situation, feel free to give me a call or email me. If you like the video, you can feel free to share it with your friends and family who might also find it helpful, and click on the like button. If you have suggestions for topics you want me to cover, and for topics that you might want to see, please feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I'd be happy to consider it in a future video. Bye!